What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Broke Creatives Podcast. We are so excited for Jarrett.
I would say we're excited.
Episode 8.
I think it's...
Well, I think I'm super...
what was that statistic that you heard about podcasts? About most podcasts? What was the percentage about getting past episode 5?
Oof, you got me on the spot. The 5th episode.
Well, no kidding. But what was the percentage? Like...
No, the first episode.
There was a certain percentage of
Willie,
podcasts,
help us out.
70%.
70%.
70% of
Thank you,
podcasts don't make it past the 5th episode.
70%.
So I think we're 3 past that. So I think
high five to that.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, for real, Jarrett, I'm super excited for our special guest today. I know.
I'm excited. Let me tell you how excited I am.
Well, it just in the past couple of days, I've told so many people to stay tuned for this podcast.
It's gonna be one of those
so
podcasts
many people.
That hurts a lot of people's brains because they're gonna learn so much.
From Wednesday night, from when we left the birthday party to today.
Yeah.
There's been so much happening and so many stories and so many connections.
Well, and the crazy thing is a lot of these connections had already happened, but it's always seems to be that this dude keeps like
popping up. And then he shows up to the studio today making connections and being who he is, the light of the room.
Yeah. And right before we even started recording, y'all were already, I had to get you guys to start because y'all were dropping bombs right off the bat. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Briggz.
Bruce.
So happy that he's here.
What's up?
It's about time. Literally, I knew when we were creating this podcast, I was like, Bruce is going to be on the podcast. That is going to be a thing that happens.
That was from day one.
Oh, man.
Day one.
I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So good.
I hope I don't disappoint you guys at all.
Okay, let me tell you. We go on and like we'll randomly get, because he'll tell you about what he's doing right now because he's super cool. Way cooler than all of us. Anyways, we will randomly
autographed hats.
Yeah, you need to make some merch. You already have some merch. What am I kidding? We need to get your autograph. Anyways,
we need to get that going for sure.
He will randomly, like, we'll just get a phone call at like 11 o'clock at night and we'll talk on FaceTime for 2 hours.
Yes.
And like, it just leaves you speechless. And you're like, you're not even tired. You don't even feel like you're tired.
I mean,
granted,
and
he's in Vegas, so he's, it's a little earlier for him.
But, you said Vegas?
Yeah, he'll tell us.
What do you do in Vegas?
Oh my gosh.
He's cool.
Okay, so for everybody who doesn't know, which I'm pretty sure there's certain people who don't know who I am. Vegas, I am the drummer. I'm a drummer for Cirque du Soleil's newest residency show called Mad Apple, and we are in the New York Hotel and Casino. So come see us Friday through Tuesdays, 7 and 7. One show at 7 and another show at 9.
Yo, we should do a giveaway with tickets to go see Bruce.
That would be so much fun.
To go see Bruce.
I mean,
that would be cool.
Let's see what we can do. Make it happen.
Anyways, he's cool. He's done so much beyond just that, and that's even cool. So, but hey, we'll start with the unpopular opinion. Bruce has his unpopular opinion, that's for sure. We'll start with that, and then you guys can keep going on the whole conversation we were having before this podcast.
Start with mine?
Yeah, what's yours?
Okay. Oh. Pineapple does belong on pizza. Let's be very clear.
Why does pineapple belong on pizza?
It's amazing. It is absolutely incredible. It's my favorite pizza that I've ever had in my life. And I've definitely changed a lot of people's opinions on it. A lot of people just haven't tried it. So
haven't tried it right.
Haven't tried it right.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Ham and pineapple for sure.
Just clarify on the word right. Are you talking like Papa John's or like a hole in the wall?
That's a cuss word, Papa John's. Another unpopular opinion. I really like Papa John's pizza.
You do or don't?
I do.
Well, you gotta be. Their thin crust isn't it, bro.
No. Thin crust, no.
I don't think thin crust anywhere is really good.
Well, I don't know. Pizza Hut has really good.
I hate
thin
Pizza
crust.
Hut. Pizza Hut is trash.
Very good thin crust.
But you got to eat it fresh.
No, for sure.
Because it turns into legit.
The
box tastes better than the pizza. And yes, I've tried it.
That is hilarious.
Yes.
He probably put the pizza on the box.
It has to be right.
Yeah.
It has to be right. But yes, no. It's my favorite.
You know, I've never tried a Hawaiian pizza in a New York style pizza restaurant. I have to try it. At Grimaldi's.
Yeah.
Like I've never had a Hawaiian barbecue at Grimaldi's.
Well, Hawaiian barbecue.
Barbecue is different.
No, not Hawaiian barbecue. Hawaiian pizza.
Hawaiian pizza is good.
Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah. Hawaiian deep dish is also dope.
Okay, I've only ever really had Chicago deep dish, deep dish, and it was like a soup. It was miserable. I hated it.
Interesting. You need to go recheck.
It was not, and it was some really nice place in California. It was in where were we at? Costa Mesa or LA? We were somewhere. I think we were in LA.
Okay.
And it was not good.
Could have been Californian Pizza Kitchen.
No, it was like one of these unique places
Yeah.
where the grandma and her son were cooking in the kitchen.
Deep dish is not supposed to be like regular hand.
No, yeah, it was.
Pan pizza.
I have a picture of it somewhere, but it was like
it
was like this deep, and it was soup. It was like sauce and all the cheese and vegetables mixed together, and it was like a soup.
It happens. It definitely happens.
Yeah, this mug was soupy. Like I could have
you
taken it and gone sideways, and it just
fork.
Yeah, you don't
try to pick it up. You eat it with a fork for sure.
Yeah. Okay, the other unpopular opinion: activity is not productivity.
Correct.
What do you think about that? What do you think?
I agree.
Because a lot of people think just because they're doing something, whether that be busy work, whether that be checking a box, whatever, thinks they're being productive.
We're in the studio, right?
Yeah.
Right. You guys have an amazing studio, by the way.
Thank you.
If I am here,
that means a lot coming from you.
Oh my gosh. if I am here and I am moving lights and I'm positioning lights and I never utilize them, that's not productivity.
Yeah.
If I'm in the building for 12 hours a day, but I don't shoot anything, if I don't produce, right? So you produce, that's basically what it is, right? Yeah. That's productivity is you actually producing something that is
right.
You create something, you produce it, you put it out.
Yeah. Right.
That's productivity. If I walk around the building, I'm active.
No, right.
I'm being active.
Yeah.
I'm cleaning up. I'm doing, but I never shoot.
Yeah.
Right. I never, produce anything.
Yeah.
Out of me being here for 12 hours.
Right.
No.
So I have a question. I know some people, and I'm asking this because I know some people may be wondering, what if somebody is sitting at work and they're scheduling people?
Scheduling is productivity.
So
you're making it happen.
But in a way of like, okay, you schedule out, let's just say, I probably just answered my own question in my head.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can finish it.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It will. Yeah. Next point. Yeah, that was just a whole complete moment just in my head is like, well, no, it goes back to one of our business partners has told us before is like, when you read a book, you feel like there's no movement, but you don't realize every book you read is making you money. So
it's just not in your pocket.
Even though you feel stagnant, I guess this is more of an encouragement for people is when you feel stagnant and you feel just like you're not being very productive. Every book, everything that you're learning is an asset, is something that you're using to develop your skills and your mindset to help you succeed in the future.
Yeah.
So that's to save myself from that last point I was trying to make.
If you're reading to learn, then
right.
Yes. If you're just reading for entertainment or you're just reading just to be reading books, you don't apply it. The application is what helps.
Right.
You do and okay, I'm reading this book because I want to apply this to my daily whatever.
Right.
Then that's what it is. But if you're just reading a book and you never apply it, then I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I'm not being productive, or it's not helping me because I'm not applying it. You got to apply the things that you read.
I think that's the connection I was trying to make for people is you have to apply.
Yeah, you got to apply.
Yeah, you have to apply. Yeah.
Okay, I think
Wow.
you could go. Okay, talk about the thing you were talking about before.
Let's just go.
Let's go.
The color thing.
Yeah.
Remember shooting in color,
So-
like different perspectives and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I
so
think
we
that could even apply.
Yeah, we started out by saying, I just made a simple joke of like audio or color is more important than audio in a video.
Yes.
But then we got on the topic of old time videos.
Right, because
and
when
films.
Right. And when you said that, you said that it was more, or color was more important. And I was saying,
oh, wait.
well, audio, I've always
He's an audio engineer.
He's an audio
I
engineer.
always believe that audio
Yes.
is a big, is a big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially in our industry.
Yep.
Right. If you are, that's why we spend so much time
Yeah.
treating rooms and making
Exactly.
sure that this doesn't bounce
Which
off. And
I
this,
truly believe audio is one of, or the most important thing too.
Yeah. So when you said that, I said, well, you can just do it in black and white. You don't have to have any color to get your thing across or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Right.
And I forgot how we went in there, but then I was basically saying that a lot of people don't really realize that when black and white television basically was happening,
Yep.
all of those things from their perspective, from the
viewer.
people, from the viewer, from
Yep.
reality, how that was happening, all of that was in color.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at you in your red suit. I'm looking at you, the girl in her blue dress or whatever the case may be. All of that was in color.
Mm-hmm.
The viewership that would watch later on that TV show or that movie, they could not see the color.
Yeah.
Because there was no color in television, right? So all of that was happening on the other side of the camera, in front of the camera.
Yeah.
It was happening in color. So you weren't in a mute suit. You weren't in a gray. You weren't in black.
Yeah.
It was all color.
Yeah.
So that was basically what that meant. And we never think about that either.
Ever.
But I mean, a lot of our generation doesn't watch black and whites anyway. So it's like,
That
what?
is true.
Unless it's intentionally made.
Unless
like
it's intentionally
some parts,
made.
right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. But yeah, no, I mean, you going and watching, was it TMC?
Yep.
Those old movies and stuff like
yeah.
that. My parents watch that all the time. And I actually like watching them
They're
as
really
well.
cool.
They're really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not going to go back and do that,
Yep.
Now Marvel is coming out with that new movie. I think it's something werewolf. Anyway, they're doing a new movie,
Right.
And the whole thing is going to be
So
old
sick.
school shot, black and white.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Ugh. Okay, I already know what I want to talk about.
Okay.
I know that we're calling this episode The Ripple.
Okay.
And where we got the name from is actually
Chills.
just so basically last Wednesday was your wife's birthday party.
Yes.
Last Wednesday. So you had people flying in from all over the country coming in for this thing.
Yeah.
She had no idea.
Right.
It was super amazing. I know that we talked about doing this like 2-3 months ago, like a long time ago. And she was saying, I don't want to do anything for my birthday, blah, 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 because she just didn't want to do anything. And you were like, you thought. So he like puts together this whole thing where he's bringing all these people and he has a whole band
Guys,
there.
it was a whole thing. Maybe we could even show a clip.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, because we
just
got some footage.
still
so
pictures.
which we
I
need
mean,
to- yeah,
'cause you have footage. You have footage, right?
a little bit. I
Okay.
think we recorded like
Alright,
the
cool.
entire night.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah.
but
We went to church.
we went to church.
We went to church.
Anyways, basically all of that to say it's so crazy to me, and we were talking about it in the car on the way home, and that's where we kind of really came up with what we were going to talk about, is the relationships that were there. Obviously, we saw a lot of people, and you knew everybody that was there. Right. But even like people that I hadn't seen in a minute, it's crazy how like we walk in the door and right off the bat, the first person we see is Natasha, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, look who's here!" And then Lynn's standing right next to her. She's like, "Oh, they brought in the big dogs," and I'm like, it still is weird to me when people say that. I'm like, okay, I'm just a
It's the
production
truth.
guy.
Own it. Just own it.
I'm just a production guy. But I mean, it's crazy because all of these connections, and then we started thinking like, how did we meet Bruce? And we were talking. I know we were talking about it this morning, but kind of even looking back is like we met. The first time I think I saw you, right, was on a FaceTime?
Yes.
Right. I saw you on a FaceTime. We were with another guy.
Yep.
And he was FaceTiming you, showing you a video, and it was, because he was mixing the audio, we did the video for it.
Yep.
And so we saw you then. I had no idea who you were. I was like, this dude with the green hair.
Yeah.
And then after that, we were at a rehearsal, and then you walked in and came in, and I think I recognized you, and I think we introduced each other. And so we introduced ourselves, talked a little bit, whatever. And then after that, we did
an event.
We did Dare to Worship.
Yep.
And
Shout out to
so
Kelly.
shout out to
Shout
Kelly.
out to Kelly.
And so
Faux
we
show.
did Dare to Worship. And I don't even think I realized you were playing until like after the fact.
Exactly.
Which was funny.
Yeah.
And then after that, we just
I
kind
didn't
of.
even know until like months later.
Yeah. Well, and Sean wasn't like, at that point, Sean wasn't like super involved with the all of the things that we're doing now. He was, I think, still on staff at one point, and like we were still kind of figuring stuff out. And then we were starting to do a lot more freelance and stuff.
Yeah.
But so he was meeting all of these people because I take Sean everywhere.
Right.
I mean, that's why we're doing this whole podcast.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
literally, Sean's like
No, it
he's
makes
like
sense.
my other half in the creative world.
Yeah.
So he's meeting all of these people and finally starting to build these relationships. But we were talking about like it's crazy how many different connections and relationships happen because of one interaction.
Yes.
Because like, I mean, I even look at, even with Kelly,
Yeah.
the same person I met you through is the same person I met Kelly through.
Correct.
And that person, he knows a bunch of, it's so crazy to me. And I was thinking like, where would we be? Like we wouldn't be here if those connections didn't happen, but it's like one person can spark so many different relationships.
Correct.
And it brought me back. The reason that I thought of that is when Dee Dee was talking for her birthday, when she was going up there talking, she was talking about, and I don't remember exactly word for word what she said, but she was talking about like way back when, like the first person that was like encouraging her to sing. And like if they, and like even, I think even potentially back into like her childhood, she was doing stuff. But I mean, all of that, like that one person that encouraged her, that put her into different rooms, which put her into better rooms, which put her into better rooms, what made, better connections. Now she's doing, I mean, she was literally just on Maverick City's tour.
Yeah.
Yep.
Am I wearing the Maverick City?
You are.
That's funny. I honestly
You
forgot
are.
about it.
You
Anyways, she was literally a BGV for Kirk Franklin on that entire tour, which I don't know how her like vocal cords are still functioning.
Hey,
But
man, when you do it, it works. It works out.
But anyways, and so she was talking about that, and I'm like, man, thinking back to how we, did the same thing, because I never would have thought that I would have been, in the rooms that I'm in now. And I'm sure Sean's the same way, and I'm sure you're the same way. Like the rooms, you can always think back to that origin spot of like, dang, this is when I met this person, which got me into this room.
Correct.
Even if it's, 6 or 7 different connections along the way, that one specific point is just, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure you have a bunch of the stories, like even your whole process in getting into the Cirque du Soleil show that you're doing. Like, I'm sure there's so many different connections that got you there, and you're like, man, if I could go back and thank every single person.
Yeah.
Because that's how I am. I'm like, some of the people, like, they have no idea. But then somebody else said that. We were actually talking, I think it was the next day, funny enough. We were talking the next day, and it was like, this guy was talking to Sean and I, and he was like, you don't even know the impact that you're having on people just by you being in the same room, but even introducing people to other people.
Yes.
And like, whether you see the benefit or not of it, like, it's literally going to, like, it could completely change their life. And it's the same thing. It's like, even, I had no idea that seeing you on a FaceTime, I was one day going to be doing a podcast with you with Sean. Like, I had no idea.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You
And
don't.
it's
You don't know.
crazy.
So the thing is I okay. Let's just go. So we were never supposed to do life alone.
Yeah.
Right?
Come on.
That was God's design. Right? Even when he created woman, it's not good for man, right, to
Right.
be alone, right? So
Right.
even in that, that's not just man and woman relationships, right?
Right.
We are supposed to be able to do things
Yep.
together. There's a reason why we have church,
Yeah.
Exactly.
right? We're supposed to be able to come in
Yep.
with a group of people and learn together and be there to encourage and
Right.
and worship together and understand that collective. That's what all this is for,
Yeah.
right? If we were all supposed to be alone, we would be the only people,
Yeah.
or the only person
Yeah.
on the planet.
Yep.
There's galaxies. Everybody would be on a different planet.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like by themselves. But we're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
And so relationship is the biggest thing in life, period. That's
Yeah.
why you have a relationship with God. That's why you have a relationship with, all these ships. You have friendships. You have relationship with your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever the case may
Yep.
be. That's what all of that is.
Yeah.
And so when you do that, you take care of those relationships.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in my life, that has been my whole thing.
Yeah.
Is relationships. You don't get anywhere. Nobody makes it by themselves.
Yeah.
Sorry guys. Nobody makes it by themselves.
Yep.
Period. You
Ever.
might see one person,
Yeah.
but nobody makes it by themselves. And
Yep.
in our industry, in entertainment, we're playing football. We're playing baseball. This is a team sport.
Yeah.
This is not tennis. It's not golf. It's not NASCAR.
Yeah.
We need people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? For this to happen, for this podcast to happen,
Yeah.
it might take 6 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Would you do it if it was by yourself? Maybe.
Yeah.
Could you kind of? But the exhaustion, are you the best video editor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you the best audio mixer? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what you get what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
So in that space, you need camera operators, you need
Yes.
lighting people, you need so all of that it makes sense. So how do you grow? How do I grow? How do I do these different things?
Yeah.
It's through connection.
Right.
It's through, oh, okay, you do this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do this better than me. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
How can we work? How can we collaborate?
Right.
And a lot of people are scared of collaboration because either we get to a space to where it's talked about as being an opportunist or
Well, there was
it's
one of the quotes that I said is people view collaboration as a threat sometimes.
for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Because
valid.
if we collab, I'm losing money at this point.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And if Sean does it better than me, then everybody's gonna come to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if your connection is solid, if you come to me and I know Sean, but you know me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're in that space,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna go through Bruce because Sean is Bruce's guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know Sean,
Yeah.
but that's Bruce's guy. So anytime that we actually make that connection, now it's all of us are actually winning,
Yep.
and all of us can get paid, and all of
Exactly.
us can actually move up,
Yep.
and all of us can. That's just my thing. Now,
Yeah.
there are people who say, okay, well, Sean is Bruce's guy, but I can cut Bruce out
Oof.
and I can go straight to Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And a lot of times that happens. A lot of times that works. A lot of times it's a thing.
Yeah.
But depending on how that works, now if Sean comes and says, well, where's Bruce? I mean, I made that connection through, but a lot of people don't do that as well on the
Yeah.
other side.
Exactly.
They'll say, oh yeah, no, it's cool. We can da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Because now you're cutting out that person.
Yep.
And you think about it being that might be a bad thing.
Yep.
So there's so many ways, but yeah, my life for sure has always been through that.
Yeah.
Has in this industry, it's always been connection and relationship and collaboration. And because that's my heart. My heart is to be able to help people grow. It's
Yeah.
help encourage people and getting people into the spaces that they wouldn't necessarily be able to have access to
Yeah.
if it wasn't for me. Now that's not a gatekeeping thing. That's a God thing.
Yeah.
It's not me. I'm literally just saying, oh, okay, cool, right? The running joke in the industry, which you guys know, is Bruce knows everybody.
That's the truth. Bruce knows everybody.
There's nobody, you go in a room, everybody knows Bruce, right? And Bruce knows everybody. And I think that's the change too. What I would always say is I can know everybody.
Yeah.
But if people don't know me, on the flip side of that,
yeah.
I can go to Sean and say, oh yeah, oh, I'm saying, yeah, I know Jarrett.
Yep.
And you go to Jarrett and be like, yo, Bruce Briggz? And he's like, Bruce? Now it's a thing.
Yeah.
And full transparency, I have gotten in trouble for that, saying I've known somebody and they didn't really know me.
Yep.
And so now that person is just like, oh, Bruce is lying. No. I didn't mean it. That, so you have to, go through that. But I was younger and we understand. So, but that's what happens, man. The relationship in that space, when you are connected and when somebody knows you, like we said earlier, I think Will said it, but, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And that's one side of it.
Yeah.
But it's also who knows you.
Yeah.
Because then that makes it complete.
Right.
And
I would definitely say on that, I was going to let you talk it out because you were going exactly where I'm about to lead into. And so we were at Dee Dee's party, and at the very end, I met Jason
Yes.
Bowie.
Yes, my guy.
Amazing guy, amazing videographer. Check out
Love you,
Jason Bowie. But so at the very end, it was just, I was shooting video on sticks, and like we had a camera on sticks, and we were just shooting video. And I just leaned over to him, and I was just like, hey, just make sure that I give you this footage.
Yeah.
Gave him a fist bump, and that was it.
Yeah.
And so I played it off as in it was just another videographer. But at the very end, I was like, yeah, he came up to get my information. I was like, yeah. And I was like, if you need anything, just let me know.
Oh, I know
that would be awesome. But I already have chills. But the moment, Bruce, that you said, you were talking to people,
Yeah.
but you turn around and you go, oh no, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. Easy. The moment that you said this, Jason turns around, I turn around, I set the tripod down on the ground, and I said, who are you? What do you do?
Yeah.
Why is Bruce saying this?
Yeah.
And that's when a conversation started, and it was the most impactful conversation that we had that night, I would say, with somebody, because you simply said, oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because we not only trusted you, and we not only knew you, but we knew the impact that you had on other people. And so Jason even turned around with the same exact face, like,
who are you? What are you?
Okay, what's really going on? And who are these people? But anyways, you can go into
But that's why that's why I'm here, right?
Right.
That's a part of my purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Is to do those things.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, a lot of people wouldn't, right? You would just see him doing his thing, and he would see you.
It was
doing
a
your
perfect
thing,
scenario,
and that's the reason why I do the things that I do the way that I do them.
Yep.
Okay, yes, we got married. It'll be 3 years in December, and when I did the wedding,
was it like a full production?
Of course.
Don't expect anything less.
It's me. But the biggest thing was a lot of people come to a wedding or a funeral, right? But a lot of people come to a wedding and they come and they celebrate that couple that day.
Yeah.
And they spent hundreds of dollars. And the bride and groom and their families spend thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars for that one day. And for me, even though it is my day, it is one of the biggest days of my life and my wife's life. We get to celebrate that. But the people don't necessarily get to experience. And what I wanted to do was, which was also in conjunction with my wife, and because certain cases she deals with anxiety, but
like she was when she walked into that birthday?
For sure.
You walked her in, she was blindfolded, and she was like, she turned around so quick. She was like, no.
Which that's a story within itself.
Right. But what I'm saying is that we did, instead of it just being that one day, we did a wedding weekend. Mm-hmm. So Friday, instead of it just having the rehearsal dinner, we did a celebration dinner. Right, so everybody could come. If you were in town, you could come to the celebration dinner. That Saturday night, instead of having a bachelor party and a bachelorette party, we just did another celebration where we went bowling and we did you know, games and laser tag and all that kind of stuff. We went out to Penn Stack.
Yes.
You know, we did that, and that was great. It was just a great time. And then we got to the wedding.
Yeah.
Right. And so now everybody has had an experience. But in that experience, now you're able to come in and you have spent time with these people that you either knew or you didn't know or you wanted to be able to get to know. So we gave you that time. Yeah. As well as I gave my wife that time, because in her dealing with the anxiety, if 250 people showed up that one day, we would have never showed up to the reception. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like my wife would have been like, "Oh no, what this is too much." But to be able to talk to and be able to lay eyes on 90% of the people that were there for that weekend, now I don't have to have anxiety. Because I'm familiar with faces. 90% of the people that are there at the wedding, I'm familiar with them because I've spent time with them for, you know what I mean, for 2 days prior. So that's the way that I look at a lot of things in my mind. Okay, cool. Yes, we're here to celebrate my wife, and that on her birthday, that was definitely needed. That was definitely something that was going to happen. Right. But I also know that when I am actually bringing these things together and I say, oh, I need a videographer. Oh, we're going to do a show. So if we're going to do a show, I need front of house. Oh, you know what? What goes with that? I need lighting. What? Okay, cool. But guess what? None of these guys have probably worked together before. This is an opportunity for them to be able to work together. Right. Yeah. So now when we're calling, it's, hey, Jason, I'm about to be in Houston. Or, hey, I need another guy to be able to come do X, Y, and Z. Okay, sweet. Hey, Jordan, I need da-da-da. Hey, Anthony, hey, Jarrett, I need da-da-da. That's how it works. Right? And that's how it's supposed to be in those cases. So anything that I can do that is going to be something that is celebratory or an event or whatever the case may be, that's my heart, is to be able to connect, because that's what I do. Right. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know any other way to be. I get in trouble. I don't want to say in trouble. I get looked at a lot because I'm very genuine. And a lot of people don't say they are, but I'm just a genuine person. I love people. I genuinely want to see you win. Yeah. If you have a dream, which everybody should,
how can I help you get there?
How can I help you get there?
Yes.
Even if it's not specifically me, right? How can I say, if I would have been able to make this connection happen, that would have been amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to say, hey, people call me all the time. I don't get paid for this.
Yeah.
Probably should start though. Let's see. No. But I don't get paid for connections. Some people do. Oh, well, go through me and you and you have to do. And I understand, right? I understand finder's fee. I understand all of that. But if I can say, hey, this is a good person that you might need to work with. Yeah. Right. Because I might specifically not have the work. Yep. But I know somebody who is a talent and somebody who has the work that needs help.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
People call me all the time. Hey man, hey man, do you know? Hey, do you have this person's number?
Yeah.
hey, I'm looking for, man, I know it's last minute, but
all of
can you, all of it.
Can you imagine if there was like a community made?
That's what hit culture is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about hit culture.
Yeah. So Hit Culture Digital is my digital entertainment company. We are a safe haven creative hub. And I love it. I love my people. I love my team. I love just the thought is something that in like September of 2008, the Lord gave me. And it was, to me, it was just a fun place and safe place for me to want to do music, or want to do really, not just music, but just working with my friends in any capacity.
Right.
Because
I'm getting chills.
a lot of people don't know, like I'm an actor. That's where I come from. I come from theater, right? So in music, of course, has always been a thing that I do because I play drums and produce and, audio engineer and all that kind of stuff. And so because of the way that the world has just been, we all know that there's snakes in the industry and there's, this and that. And I was just like, I wanted a safe place. I wanted a place for people in the indie area and my friends to be able to come and just say, hey, man, we are going to just create. We're just going to have fun creating. It doesn't have to be, super crazy industry. It doesn't have to be super corporate, but just a safe place for us to be able to release music or to be able to release projects or be able to come and, do those types of things. I wanted to be able to do that. And so, like I said, it was just a creative hub for me to hang out with my friends. And then it turned into something, different. It turned into a whole network. It turned it into, the digital space of being able to send files across the nation, to get things done and complete those types of things because that's my reach. And so it just made sense to be able to do that. So that is Hit Culture, Hit Culture Digital, hitculturedigital.com, and it's culture with a K. I'm Black, so I had to switch it a little bit. Come on. But yes, Hit Culture with a K, digital.com, and that is that's just what we do. It's a one-stop shop for all your entertainment needs, production, all of that. So that's that's all through connection.
Listen. So speaking of connections, because I know that we're going to talk about this eventually, but we won't go into too much detail because it'll be a long conversation.
Okay.
There's going to be a part 2.
Okay.
But just briefly, tell us about how much you love Disney. Because there's a whole bunch about Disney. There's Disney's culture, the culture that they have. I mean, I always said the way that I introduced Bruce to anybody is this guy is going to be the next Walt Disney. He's going to be creating Disney. He's going it's going to be a whole round. But this is like what our 2-hour-long 11:30 at night phone calls are about, is just literally dreaming with this. And the reason I said I had goosebumps a minute ago was I remember the first time we went to your studio and we sat there and we talked and we dreamed and just came up with all the cool things of what we wanted.
Yeah.
And Sean was talking about wanting the room we're sitting in right now.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. That was his dream.
Yeah.
And
I'm
about to put Sean on blast. But
I sat and we were in that meeting and I remember I said, if money wasn't an issue, what would it be? What would your dream be?
Yeah. So what I'm putting Sean on blast for is, and we've talked about this in a podcast before, but I'm gonna do it again because I know there's more dialogue here. So one of the crazy things is we were dreaming about this. This is success.
Yeah.
This is what success looks like. This is what a win looks like, and we're here.
Yeah.
And Sean, and that was even one of the things that Sean and I have talked about is okay, cool. So now that we've achieved that, now you have to redefine what your biggest dreams and goals are.
Yeah.
Because you thought a little too small. Yeah. And look at God. He can literally go and it's in front of you,
Anything.
But that's the crazy thing is like, I know that you've even dreamt of like all the, I mean, if I want to know anything about Disney, I know I can call you. And it's not about Disney like, oh, let's talk about the princesses.
Yeah.
No, I can talk about like the creative arts side of Disney because that's the cool part. The parks are great.
Yeah.
The theme parks are fantastic. Yeah, great.
Amazing.
Yeah, Avatar is still my favorite ride in Disney World. Like,
yeah, and see, I haven't been back to do that yet, so I'm going to. I'm definitely going to.
Yes, bro. It's literally, and I was told this morning that there's a new ride in Disney that's better than that ride, and I don't believe them.
It's definitely coming or happening.
Yeah.
See, he already knows.
I'll say this too. You were successful before you got into this building.
That's the truth.
Let's be very clear. A lot of people's mindset is different when it comes to success.
Yeah.
Right. Success looks bigger than.
Right.
And that just depends on, how you look at it. I was successful in getting to the studio today.
Yeah.
Right.
Throwing the party and seeing the smile on my wife's face,
bro,
that was successful.
Yeah.
Right. Those we don't look at those because those are everyday things.
Yo, this is literally what we had on our last 2-hour Zoom call or FaceTime call.
Yeah.
We talked about success and we talked about it a little bit, but anything we said didn't do what you said justice.
Yeah.
But success isn't a final point. It's a milestone.
Yeah. It's a milestone. It's a goal. It's a goal. I had a goal and I actually achieved that, and that's the biggest thing. So now, when you're able to continue success, that's what successessful is.
Yeah.
I'm successful.
You're full
because
of
I am full of success.
multiple
I'm
successes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all of that. So that the Disney thing though is I love living in I love to escape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I love living outside of reality.
Yeah.
Right. And so my imagination, because I'm a visual person and I'm a visual and audio person. So I might not, full disclosure, I might not necessarily read a book, but I will listen to the audiobook.
Yeah.
Right. Because reading doesn't specifically do it for me in all aspects.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up. I grew up being able to listen to tapes, cassette tapes
Dang,
of
what are those?
you know what I mean? Exactly. of Bible verses and all of that kind of stuff, and just the audio, like audiobooks.
Right.
I grew up listening, to Focus on the Family. Shout out to Focus on the Family.
Heck yes, bro.
Adventures in Odyssey.
Yes, bro.
I listened to, all of that type of stuff, and most people don't know that Adventures in Odyssey was literally a 30-minute audio world, basically.
Yeah.
It was an audio show. This was before they did books. This was before they did any cartoons. This was before they did. It was just
like, still thinking about it, I can picture everything the way I pictured it happening in my head, but it was just audio.
Yeah, it was only audio.
See, in my head, I have a whole thing that I could picture about Adventures in Odyssey.
Well, here's the thing. They eventually got to that. They eventually got to cartoons and all that kind of stuff and started putting that stuff out, but it was just a radio show at first.
That's what I remember.
So that's what it was.
Crazy.
But
Wow.
But all of that is, I live in that world. I live in, so anytime that it came to comic books, anytime that it came to, anything adventure, anything Lord of the Rings, or Percy Jackson, whatever it was, in those types of spaces, that's what I gravitated to.
Yeah.
Because I have such an amazing imagination.
Yeah.
So that now I'm connecting, right, with people. And a lot of people actually would. That's the reason why Disney works, right?
Yeah.
It's the reason why, there's so many things, comic books and all that kind of stuff. It's the reason why they work so well, is because now I can actually get you in a space of escape. I can get you to, think about a princess and a prince meeting and marrying and having that happily ever after, because that's a lot of people's stories. A lot of people's want, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're an adult at this point, when you were a child or whatever the case may be, I still, the princess and the prince are going to come together, they're going to get married, and that's the fairy tale, because that's what we want to be able to escape to believe.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to think about that.
Yeah.
And it's not hard for that to happen.
Yeah.
Right. Does it happen like that in the way that we picture it as Disney would put it? No.
Right.
But that's just the thing. So I just love to be able to escape. I love great stories. I love the detail that they've put in, into it. I love the thought. I love, how Walt made these dreams that he had come true. That this thing built from, I was telling and I wanted to do these things for my daughters, and then it turned into this global phenomenon that we all know that will be successful forever and ever. And I look at that and say, okay, cool. That's something that is amazing. How can I take something like that and scale it to where you're not just thinking about it being anybody, it's Disney or it's Sony or it's Viacom or whatever the case may be. It's Netflix at this point now. That's big. How do you do it at scale?
Yeah.
How do I bring it, and how can you bring it to people who don't necessarily have that access? How can you see it at scale? How can you see it in the indie space? How can you bring it to where it's affordable to people, and it's also making the impact around here?
Right.
Because a lot of gaps that we have is grassroots or major. A lot of indie stuff kind of gets, it comes to and fro. Right. It's frivolous. It's so how do you establish something like that? And there's a lot of companies, a lot of people that are doing very well at, getting into the indie space and doing certain things at scale. So that's just kind of my heart, because majors are going to be majors. All that's going to be a thing. But the people that I impact and the people that I'm connected to and the people that I have relationships with, how can we do that in our space? So I mean, that's my love. That's my love for Disney, is because it takes something that you dream. Takes your dreams and it makes it reality. And a lot of people just think that is nuts. Like, no, there's no way that I can do that. And a lot of people look at me, and us too. Let's be very clear. A lot of people look at entertainers or people who are in the production world or whatever the case may be. I know entertainment for a long time wasn't a real job, right? You don't have benefits, so you don't have a real job. And I'm like, I make more money than you, faster than you. I don't live for the weekend. I am the weekend. Like our entertainment is 24 hours a day. We don't stop. Let's be very, very clear. Is that we do not stop, especially creatives and visionaries and all of that. Our minds are always working. We're always thinking about the next thing. We're always thinking about how can we make this better? What connection could we make here? How could we move here? It's all of that. So we are 24 hours where your 9 to 5 or your 8 to 4, your 8 to 5 basically is something that it stops. Then you can go home and you can be with your children and your wife for the next 6 hours. And then you go and, do what you're going to do. We don't have that. That's why it's hard for us to balance. That's why it's hard for us to get things together. It's why for me and my wife, I'm a full-on creative. She is a half creative, more corporate than anything. But she'll have to, babe, hey, just chill. And I have to say, oh, okay, cool. Which that's the reason why I needed my wife anyway. Didi, I love you. But those are things that we think about, and I just love the fact of being able to dream something, because those dreams come from somewhere.
Right.
Those are desires. And I can't get upset. People can't get upset with me. I didn't have this. I didn't put this in me. right?
Yeah.
And if you're a believer, then you understand that the Lord did that. That's something that he gave you desire to do, which is the reason why he will give you the desires of your heart, because he's the one that actually put the desire in you.
Come on.
That's the whole other thing. But that's what I love, is to be able to take dreams and watch dreams happen and talk talk dreams out with people.
Yeah.
Because the more you talk about it, it becomes manifestation.
Yeah.
It becomes things that you're saying, okay, I want to be able to do this. And God says, oh, okay, cool. That's what you say you want to do? Cool. Do you trust me?
Yeah.
Actually, I really, really do. Okay, cool. And then he puts it in action.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that whole concept of dreams becoming reality.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, if you had, back like with your dream thing, thinking about like a freelancer or an entrepreneur, whatever, somebody in the creative space that is like afraid of taking the next step or not sure what the next step is or not sure, what they should be doing next, what would something that you would say to like encourage a freelancer or an entrepreneur that's in the creative space? Because I mean, we've all been there. We've all had to start from 0 to 1 is the hardest part.
Yeah.
And then 1 to 10 after that, cool. But 0 to 1, taking that first step.
I believe that.
That's a good question, Jarrett. Good job.
Something that I would say to.
What would you tell yourself when you were first starting?
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
And you really have to believe, right? You really have to believe in yourself. You have to have the confidence in yourself. You have to really, really understand that there was something that was put inside of you. You have a purpose, and you have to be able to walk that out.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of it, right? In our world, we look at the parable about the talents.
Yep.
Right? There was men who got multiple talents that God gave them. And one went out and multiplied them. The other one, he multiplied even more. And that was the thing.
Right.
And there was one who got one talent. And he was like, okay, cool. I want to make sure that I take care of this one talent.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
And so without me messing it up, I'm gonna bury it because I know where it is.
Yeah.
It's safe. I'm okay. It's fine. So when he does come back, I can say, hey, I didn't mess this up. I didn't do wrong with it. I made sure that it was safe.
Yeah.
That man with that one talent didn't get in trouble. He didn't do anything bad.
Yeah.
To be very clear, he was being safe. He was making sure that it was taken care of. It was good. It was in a good space. I put it away. I didn't want to mess it up, so I didn't. So I buried it.
Right.
He didn't get in trouble because he was messing it up. He got in trouble because he played it safe.
Yeah.
And God doesn't want us to play it safe.
Yeah. Come on.
Because if that's the case, then we don't believe.
Yeah.
Which is the only way to please him.
Yeah.
Is to have faith, right? And the confidence to be able to do the thing. That's what faith is, confidence.
Yeah.
Right? So I would say to whoever you are in your space, in your entertainment field, or just in whatever your dream is. If your dream is to be a doctor, if your dream is to be, you know what I'm saying, whatever that dream that you have is, don't play it safe.
Yeah.
Do it. Go after it.
Yeah.
Because you got to trust. I didn't get to where I am. And let's be very clear, guys. I'm not the most successful person in the world. You know what I mean? Like I'm still working. I'm still getting into those spaces. Like I said, I have a lot of connections and resources. I'm very, very grateful for that. And I've done a lot of things, and I've been in the industry, 20 years. You know what I mean? So that's great. But also, I have to believe anything that you guys have seen me do, anything that anybody has seen me do, it's all been faith.
Yeah.
It's all been God got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have that thing.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to believe, you have to have the confidence that I can do it. And the biggest confidence boost for me is my Father in heaven is that he's the one that got the blueprint. I don't have the blueprint.
Well, and I saw this quote. It says, where your confidence comes from determines when it'll run out.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
But if we serve a person who is not in time, then it won't.
Right.
It can't. Yeah. So, and like I said, if you are a believer, then that's ours, right? If you are not a believer, then you have a different perspective. And that might either be a higher power or whatever the case may be. Right. But for me, I had to be able to have faith and confidence that I could first be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that second, I didn't have to do it in the way that everybody else did it. Yeah. And I'm not afraid of looking crazy in front of people. I'm not afraid of looking a certain way because I can literally just do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter. It does not matter.
That's good.
George Lucas was crazy to people when he wanted to make Star Wars. Nobody knew what he was doing. They were literally filming, not knowing what they were creating and doubting him.
Yeah. I started watching episode 4 yesterday.
Do you know what I'm saying? That is just that alone. And now you come years later, and not even years later, after it happened and the success from that, now people are just like, oh, okay. But he looked crazy in that. There's a lot of stories that in the Bible that people were looking absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't it doesn't matter about that. So I would literally just say, have the confidence, have the belief that you can do it.
Yeah.
And understand that if that you can do it, it's gonna be okay. It's not something that you have to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're not. My wife says all the time that we are not responsible for the outcome.
Right.
We're responsible for the attempt.
Mm.
And that is a very true statement. And even with God, it's like, I'm not supposed to know how this is gonna work out.
Yeah.
I'm just supposed to do. And a lot of people are being tripped up because they don't know how it's going to work.
Yeah.
But you're not in control. We're not in control at all.
Yeah.
I just lost a really, really good friend last week.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good friend. Brother even.
Yeah.
Before that, I lost another really good friend who was a comedian. He, literally just life, healthy, great, doing, you know what I mean, what he's doing. Netflix specials, all that stuff. Amazing.
Yeah.
We have no clue when this is going to end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the main thing I would attach to what I'm saying, you being confident and having faith that you can actually do it and believe that you can do it, is if that's gonna make you happy, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happiness is the only way to live at this point.
Yeah.
Happiness is the only way to live at this point. If it doesn't make you happy, don't do it.
Yeah.
If you're not happy, leave.
That's truth.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're not happy, change careers.
Yeah.
You have to. You cannot live in this life anymore stuck in a space where you are miserable. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't be the best person that you can be. You can't, if you're not good for yourself, you're not going to be good to anybody else.
Yeah.
Right.
And happiness is going to make you feel that way. Right? So if I'm good, because I'm happy. Guys, y'all know everybody's Bruce smiles all the time and da-da-da. I'm happy. I'm married to the wife that I wanted. I have amazing, you know what I mean, young lady, children. You know what I mean? Like my girls they're brats, but they're my brats, and I love them, and that is what it is. Not saying that in a bad way. They're my girls. I love you, Terry and Trinity, my daughters. But like I'm in a good space. I am building something that the Lord gave me years ago. And it's working its way into a really good thing.
Yeah.
Right? That there are things that I want to be able to get to, and I will be able to achieve them. But I've achieved a lot when it comes to even just connecting people and putting people together. That's success for me. That is happiness. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then I can be happy and I can be better for other people. Right? So happiness, confidence, believe, in yourself. Like we don't do that enough.
Yeah.
And so that hopefully that answers the question. I don't want people commenting and being like, well, he never answered, but that's what I would do is to encourage people to be able to be happy and to believe that your dreams can come true and they will come true.
Yeah.
Right.
For real. If you put forth the work and the effort to be able to do it, it will happen.
Yeah. And finding the right people, I know it'll always tie back to the network of people that you're with.
Oh, for sure.
And I know that can be a part of another episode. I would like to have Bruce on another episode for sure.
Yeah. We just have to
because there's so much we can talk about.
Yeah.
There's so much we can talk about, but I do want to wow. Man, we can go into a whole nother conversation. But no, it always comes back to the productivity that a group of people can have.
Yes.
And so if you're worried about, I can't take that next step because I need XYZ and however many people, well, find those people. Who do you know to help make that happen?
Yeah.
Help
You get the
right
people into the room.
It's game over.
Yeah. That's the big.
That's been happening a lot.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Team.
Exactly.
Team.
Exactly.
It's team. It's almost covering in that space too.
Yeah. And Bruce, I truly feel like over time, being the next Disney, we're speaking that over you, but being the next Disney, the relationships that you've created, the people that you've connected, all of those are just going to lead into the vision that's being created.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I want other people to remember, like, the connections that you're making aren't just a videographer that's in the room.
No.
There's somebody that has the ability to shift the atmosphere for your next project.
Yeah. And it's not just projects. It's even
everything.
if you just break it down to the person that you met at the mall,
exactly,
that you connected with,
exactly,
and said, "Oh, that person might just give you another edge of happiness and connection and friendship."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That and I'm breaking it down just to the regular American life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, of course,
Right.
we don't know about that world a lot, but just being able to say, hey, it's okay to connect. It's okay to
reach out.
It's okay to check on people. Hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
Hey, did you eat today? Hey, are you good? I know you're in a marriage. Are you and your husband happy?
Mm-hmm.
Are you and your wife happy? You know what I mean? Do you guys are your kids okay?
Yeah.
Hey, come over and let's spend time and let's watch football or let's watch baseball or let's watch, TMC or let's watch, whatever the case. Like, let's do that. Let's connect outside.
Right.
That's what this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we look at those things like everybody is here to be able to help somebody else.
Yeah.
And when you're not necessarily doing that because it's looked as, like you say, you're being an opportunist or, you're just connecting with them so that you can use them or whatever the case may be. There's a difference between use and utilize.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
And a
That's
lot
good.
of people are using people thinking that they're utilizing people.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who are we're utilizing people instead of just using.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
so
good.
that's what this is. All of us are doing, we're just putting the tools in our toolbox.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that's if I'm able to connect and I'm able to have somebody else and I'm able to get you a little bit more and I'm able to get you a little bit more, then that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
Because we're all supposed to be going up.
Yeah.
And not even just in money, but just being in knowledge. There's things that you know that I have no clue, you know what I mean, on how to do. So why would I go and try to be selfish and say, you know what, I'm just going to go to school or I'm going to do this or I'm going to try to do all of this and try to do it by myself instead of just saying, no.
Yeah.
Let me just call Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just call Jarrett.
So good. Yeah.
You know, like, hey, Will, what do you have? You know what I mean? Hey, how can you know what I mean? Like it just makes it makes way more sense for you to do that and utilize those resources because they're resources. You do more than just be a videographer or just, you know, there's way more to you than that. There's way more to you just being a marketing guy. There's way more to you. Like you said, everybody knew Jarrett as the lighting guy.
Yeah.
He don't even do lights no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the cool thing about it. So you literally utilize those tools in that kid and say, okay.
Yeah.
So what else do you do?
Well, that was even the crazy thing when we were at Dee Dee's birthday is nobody knows that we're even here in the studio.
Right.
Nobody has a clue. They just know is Jared's the lighting guy and Sean's the camera guy.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
And I need y'all to stop that. I need you to understand that Sean and Jarrett have an amazing, amazing studio out here in Denton, Texas. That is incredible. Come shoot your ads. They got a psych wall. They got sets. They got cameras. They got everything that you need to make sure there is a thing. I am shutting my studio down in Dallas just because of everything that's basically happening in this space. And we are actually working and talking about a lot of things to be able to collab to make this a better situation, of course, for the both of us.
Yes.
But anybody that is doing something is not just.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so good.
And some people are. Some people are just that.
Yeah.
Right? But you got to dig, and that's what we don't do.
Mm-hmm.
We only use or utilize people for what we need them for at the time.
Yeah.
You know, to do.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Bruce,
Will, we
thank
good?
you so
I'm
much
sorry.
for no,
all right.
it's all good. Bruce, thank you so much for being a part of this podcast, the Broke Creatives podcast. And I know that we're definitely going to bring you back on. That's for sure.
man.
We just have to find a time when you're in town.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
But I just want to remind people that just go to
come to Vegas.
the BrokeCreatives.com,
We could go film a podcast.
BrokeCreatives.com, TheBrokeCreatives.com.
Yeah.
We do have merch up, so we have hats.
Yeah. You got some hats, bro.
We have
I'll send you one.
we have some no idle hours. So you were talking about we
that's our
don't
hashtag.
stop. And so we have a hat that says literally no idle hours. As creatives, there are no idle hours.
Correct.
We're constantly going, moving.
Correct.
Yep.
And so that is really the story, the back and behind the reason why we have that is no idle hours.
Yeah.
We also have some podcast logos for the Broke Creative. So super cool. Hop on the website, grab you a hat, follow us on social media, follow Bruce. We're going to go ahead and just tag your link
Sweet.
down in the description. So
Follow him.
Go
Follow
check
us.
it out.
Bruce Briggz on everything.
But yes.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Everything.
because
Do it
the
all.
Things. You know.
And
Do it all.
I pray I answered questions. I was just having conversations with my bros. I didn't point and all of that
did
kind of
good.
stuff. All
did
right.
good.
I'm
You
just
did fantastic.
having fun.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Yeah.
So,
But we just want to say thank you guys so much for joining us on this podcast. Bruce, thank you.
Thank you guys.
And we will see you guys in the next episode.
see you on the next one.
Peace out.
Deuces.